Hi everybody, got Jason here. Welcome to my second video in my many videos of going through my massive collection of over 6,000 games and 60 plus systems. The video I did last week was the some of the absolute earliest video game home consoles ever released. The Odyssey, the Channel F, the Telstar Arcade, and the RCA Studio 2. In this video I'm going to take care of these three bad boys that were also released in the late 1970s. Some of you probably know about the Bally Astrocade, probably even more of you know about the Odyssey 2, but how many of you know about the MP-1000 system? So here we go, let me cover all three of these for you. And here is my Bally Astrocade collection. As you can see, I got two systems. One, the regular brown system, and the other one is the more hard to find white system, but it's cool. I got this outer Astrocade box that came with my collection. So I got this back in around the mid 2000s. I was able to buy the system with a bunch of games and then was able to fill up the collection with even more. I have 31 out of the, I think there's about 40 games, and the few games that I'm missing are way too high in price. I'm never going to try to complete this collection, but I'll just stroll through so you can see what I got here. Most of these games are still sealed, actually. And I've only played about 8 of the games in my collection. I actually thought I played more than that, but I was looking at my record, so I actually have to get back and play me some more Astrocade games. It's got, you got your usual stuff, your racing, your pinball, your sports game. Oh, Incredible Wizard, fantastic port of Wizard of War. In fact, almost identical to the arcade. Absolutely love that game. Some learning games like you usually see. These are your typical, you know, 1979, 1980, 1978 type of games. So it was competing with the Atari 2600. Here I got a few games where I got the demo. These are a little bit more your harder to find games. Test program is actually Muncher, which is a Pac-Man clone. There's for a few more rare ones here. I got their version of Space Invaders and Treasure Cove, kind of hard to find. These are just the loose games I have, so I don't have to open up my sealed boxes. Although I'm not against opening sealed games, I've done it before, but I will open them when I'm actually ready to play them. So, Bally Astrocade, not a bad system. In fact, in National Lampoon's Vacation, when they're planning the trip to Wally World, and Clark is doing it on the computer, and the kids are trying to eat the family truckster, the system that they're doing it on is the Bally Astrocade. Oh, and I also have the basic programming, which lets you program certain things on the actual Astrocade. So let me open up these boxes and show you what they look like inside. Okay, both the boxes are open. So this is your traditional brown Bally Astrocade system. Carts go in there. This one I still got packed with the styrofoam and everything. And then here's the harder to find white version. This one I just kind of have sitting in the box, and here's the controllers, and you move this knobby around left and right to steer, or you know, whatever, to move your character around. And then the knob also spins, which comes in handy for certain games like that. And you have a trigger on the back. So that's the harder to find white Bally Astrocade. So Bally Astrocade, pretty good system. You have to play Incredible Wizard. If you love Wizard of War, that's a great one. So let's move on to the next one, the AP-1000. Alright, here's the next system in my collection, the APF MP-1000 or M-1000, depending on which system you have. I have both of them. This one says the M-1000, and this one says the MP-1000. The only difference really is that this version has a built-in game called Rocket Patrol, so I guess you could say I have all 13 games. This system came out in 1978. It's actually part of the Imagination Machine. It's supposed to hook up to a computer and be part of this whole video game computer thingy. I do not have the computer, but the system plays by itself. You don't need the computer at all. And you got your basic, you know, games for that area. Obviously, with only 12 games released, it was not a very popular system, which is why many of you probably have never heard of this system before. Got it about the mid-2000s. Was able to pick up the system, picked up the other side. I was able to get some other games. Space Destroyer, of course, is a Space Invader clone. That's the only long game, actually. The rest of these games have styrofoam in them. They're not super long like the cart, but this is the only really long cart. And I actually have not played any of these games. Shame on me. I will ratify that soon. Definitely by next year. I'll play through all these games. There's quite a few, I shouldn't say quite a few, but there's some systems in my collection I just haven't got around to playing yet because I have so many systems, but I will get to play this one. So this is it, the APF MP-1000 with box, and all 13 games with the one built in. So on to the next one, the Odyssey 2, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. And the last one I want to talk about here is the Magnavox Odyssey 2. This was their follow-up to the original Odyssey. Came out in 1979. Now, all the other systems that I've shown you so far, I never had any friends that had those systems growing up, but I did have a friend who had the Odyssey 2. And the two games I remember the most from there are the two games they're most known for, which of course is Casey Munchkin. And down the line we have, of course, Pickaxe Pete. So, I got this back in 2001. A majority of the collection with the games, I had to fill in the holes with some of the harder games to find, like Atlantis here is hard to find, Demon Attack, I think these were the only two Magic games, and then, of course, the hard one to find, which is Power Lords right there. So, these games, I got the entire collection of, I believe, 49 games, all complete in box. I think I'm missing the manual for Atlantis and Power Lords, but other than that, everything is complete. These games are in pretty good condition, with the exception of this one right there, with the rip label. Ugh, I hate rip labels. I can stand stickers and markers, because I know how to get that off, but rip labels, yeah. The system's really not that good. I've actually played through 2/3 of the collection. The games are not great, and the one thing that really sucks about even the good games like Pickaxe Pete and Casey Munchkin is you only get one life. I've never been a fan of that. I also have the 3 board games, the Quest for the Rings, Conquest of the World, which is still sealed in Wall Street. Fortune Hunt, you got to make sure you get everything that's supposed to come in with this. There's all kinds of things. There's pieces. You got to make sure you have everything. Underneath here you got the map and the booklet and the game board. I haven't played any of these yet, actually, because my kids at the time, they weren't probably old enough to understand it, but I actually should try to play one of these now. I got 2 different systems. This one is the first system with the hardwired controllers. I also have the voice attached to the top of it, so some of the games do have voices. And then the box system is the later release that has the silver joysticks and are detachable from the system. So that is my Odyssey 2 collection. Not the best for retro gaming, to be honest with you, but you know, the games that it's known for, they are great. Casey Munchkin is a great Pac-Man clone, and Pickaxe Pete is a great Donkey Kong clone. Other than that, a lot of the games not all that special, but still a lot of fun. Odyssey 2 collection. So there's some 3 more early, well, I should say late 1970 release systems, and the next video I'm going to do, we're going to tackle this bad boy, the Atari 2600 with over 400 games. But that'll be for next time. Hope you enjoyed my video, and hopefully see you next week for the Atari.